Welcome to Craig Walker Coaching. My name is Craig Walker, and I help people break free from the paralysis of self-doubt to live the life that they were born to love. My teaching is Christ-centered, it's biblically based, it's backed by science, and it's supported by those who've tried it and they've experienced radical transformation. Well, today you're joining me for part 2 of an interview I did with my longtime friend and pastor, Kenny Lewis. Before we jump into the talk, though, I want to remind you that my passion in life is to help people experience radical transformation through Jesus Christ. And the best tool that I know of to help them is my tool, Truly a Masterpiece Training. Truly a Masterpiece will challenge you to break free from the paralysis of self-doubt, which is fear-based living. And people who go through my training come away with a fresh understanding of what it means to be in Christ. They overcome their fear and experience what I think is just true love and belonging that empowers us. The link to my training, it's in the notes below. I hope you'll check it out. Okay, without further delay, let me transition back into my interview with Kenny. Kenny started preaching at the age of 14, served as a senior pastor for 43 years, and today he's going to give us some practices to help us remain faithful to our calling. Well, let's join in now. You've been a pastor for over 43 years. That's amazing longevity, when I think longevity today is considered maybe 2 to 3 years at staying in one place. How did you do it? What kept you from quitting, from making it over the long haul?
Well, I think all of us sadly hear of somebody who's either bombed out or been kicked out every week, whether it's Josh Harris or other men that Todd Wagner, I'm just mentioning names, but people, names that you probably know. Maybe they're bombed out or been kicked out. This is what has helped me. I have made it my habit to meet with God every single day. And I think you'll find out that every man of God from Moses to Billy Graham has had this same habit of meeting with the Lord privately every day to feed their own soul. And for me, I have read through the Bible every year for about the last 40 years. And it's just helped me, it's strengthened me, it's guided me, that so often has corrected me, you're going the wrong way. You've got to have that time every day. Here's a simple principle. The leader must first be led. You've got to be led personally by the Lord. And if you don't meet with him daily to develop that habit, you're going to miss it. I've also found that meeting with God for extended periods, 3 to 4 times a year, has helped me immensely, where I would go away for 2 or 3 nights for a prayer and planning, just a time to be alone with the Lord. And I would really encourage you, if you don't schedule this, you and I both know, if you don't schedule it, it doesn't happen. Put it on your calendar. Find those 3 or 4 times a year where you can be gone for a few days and nights, and just to cry your heart out. You need to go away so you've got privacy, where you can cry out to the Lord honestly and passionately, and you can complain your heart out, because all of us have those complaints. God, why isn't this happening? Got to have those times in order to survive. I'd also suggest that if you want to go the long haul, and I hope you do, that's my prayer, meet weekly for accountability with someone you trust, with 1 or 2 other men. And I learned this from a Methodist pastor when I first came to Brownsville. He said the Methodists were called Methodist because they were so methodical. They had some great methods. And he told me about this accountability. And so I put it into my life, and I've made it my practice, where I meet with another guy or 2 guys or so, and we give an account for 6 areas of our Christian life. And we just open up our soul and ask everybody to look around. You want to deal with things while they're small. It's much easier. If you let them begin to take root, they're much, much harder to get out. Yeah. The next thing I'd plead with, you want to go the long haul, be sure that you're putting your family before your ministry. If you don't, you are going to fail. You don't have a ministry if your family isn't following you. In fact, in 1 Timothy chapter 3, the question is asked, how can you lead other people if you can't lead your own family? You've got to know they have your priority. And one other thing I would suggest, Craig, I think I learned this from you, is the longer that you're in one location, the more vacation time you need. You need more time to go and dig that well a little deeper, a little wider. I found, and having been in the same place for so many years, I would regularly take at least 6 weeks off in the summer, and it was time to refresh, renew, kept me fresh, kept me from getting stale. And the longer you're in one location, the more time you need to be off. And that's just a practical suggestion.
Hmm. I found all of those to be helpful, and one that I learned from you, and well, I guess I probably learned all these from you, but have carried with me in my ministry, especially, is that meeting with two other men on a regular basis that kept me anchored throughout my time. Well, I got another question for you, and this is actually a two-part question. What advice would you give to the person who's just starting out? Um, what would you say to them?
I would encourage you to get a good coach. Like Craig Walker is a great coach. If you need help in getting systems in place, Nelson Searcy is a great coach. You may be good, as Andy Stanley says, but you're not as good as you can be with a coach. You
Mhm,
notice all of your top flight athletes all have personal coaches that they pay personally because they know in order to be their best, they need someone coaching them. And I would suggest the same is true of you. You may have the call of God on your life and you may be just incredibly gifted, but you still need some coaching along the way. Get some guys that are older, wiser, be smart about it. Don't just listen to guys that are old, your own age. Don't make Rehoboam's mistake. Get older, wiser men to coach you. They will help you immensely.
yeah, I think I was astounded when I read that Tiger Woods had a coach. What at the time was the greatest in the world, still had someone coaching him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What would you say to the person that's on the verge of throwing in the towel? And surely you've been there over at the long haul. You've had to have felt that from time to time.
I would encourage you to clarify your call. You've got to go back. There's nothing more important than the call of God.
Mhm,
You've got to say, Lord, is this what you're calling me to do? And if you know that, then you know you'd be disobedient if you bailed out. But clarify it. If Satan can't get you to deny it, he'll get you to doubt it. So
mhm,
you've got to clarify that call. And I'd say, secondly, you need to talk to someone you can trust.
yeah,
If you think that you're being the Lone Ranger, soon you're going to be the Dead Ranger. You've got to talk to someone you trust, someone, and that may not be in your own church. You may not have someone in your own church that you can trust. That's sad, but true. You need to have somebody with whom you can be totally honest and think, I feel like such a failure. I'm not doing this at all. We all need those other people in our lives to say, look, here's the way out of the fire. I know the smoke is burning your eyes and it stings like crazy. Here, follow me. I'll get you out of the fire. You've got to have someone you can trust.
yeah. I think back to Mike Dean, our brother, and another one of your disciples. And my friends always said, and I think he's just quoting what he learned in Celebrate Recovery, is you're only as sick as your secrets.
It's so
Uh,
true.
it's amazing to me that how those little things, if I let them just sit there and I don't talk about them to anyone, don't confess that, to how large they get over time. And so I just echoing what you just said, repeating that, make sure you have someone that you can talk to. Well, Kenny, I just want to thank you again for joining us today, for your seasoned advice. I know that our listeners have been helped by what you've told us today. I look forward to having you back again. I actually had more questions I would like to have asked you today, but I know time won't permit. So if you're willing, we'll come back again and take care of a few of those other things.
Look forward to it.
Well, I do want to thank you all for tuning in today. Make sure that you do click the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And as always, leave your questions and your comments down below, and we'll get back to you on those. And again, thanks for joining us. And until next time, may the Lord help you to live the life that you were born to love.